there. So I'm doing a series of 2 videos, and this is my second. And this one is going to be about the wholesale model versus the brand stylist model with Agnes and Dora. So I want to I'm going to be talking about like why the wholesale model didn't work for me in particular, and I'll give my opinions about why it didn't work in general. But personally, I just would rather just speak for myself and what I found. Okay, so I joined Agnes and Dora 3 years ago, and I was on top of the world. I couldn't wait to get started. We had to pay $3,500 to get started, and I got 350 pieces come in the mail, and that was exciting. I had a launch party, and I went live, and it was just super, super fun. So that is how I got started 3 years ago. And right then, I jumped into starting a Facebook group and started building my group and started selling, and I sold locally out of my home. I have a little bit of a boutique in my house, and people would come over. Everything was great. I mean, everybody was interested in the clothes, and it was the quality and just the styles were wonderful, okay? But what happened over a period of time was the inventory just kept growing and growing and growing. The top sellers in the company had very big inventories, and that's who we were being trained by, and wonderful, wonderful ladies. And I'm not saying anything negative about them, but we wanted to be as successful as them, so we were using them as a model. And unfortunately, we did not have the following that they had, and because of that, we weren't able to move our inventory as fast as they were. So many people after a year dropped out. It was very sad. It was very hard. But from my point of view, what was so difficult was trying to anticipate what my customers would like. And then I would buy a whole run of a certain style. So let's say this style in this fabric, I would get a run, which means I would get an extra small through 2XL. And it would come to my house, and I would go live, and I would post pictures in my group, have people come over and check them out. And if I didn't sell those, then a lot of times they sat, because like they would come out with new pieces every week. So I would get new pieces, I would try to sell them, I'd sell a few, and then the next week something else is coming. Now, of course, it was my choice to continue buying the inventory because I thought that was what was going to work. But before long, I had almost 900 pieces of inventory, which really isn't bad compared to some other reps. But I realized, and I started crunching the numbers, that I wasn't moving things quick enough to justify the amount of money I was spending. So I did break even with Agnes and Dora within the year, which was great. I was very, very happy about that. But the amount of inventory was very stressful. And Agnes and Dora regulates the sales. So they would tell us when we could mark things down. And actually, it was to be fair to all the other reps, and I understand that. But I don't think we had our first sale until a year into it. So imagine all of this inventory piled up, and they finally let us have a sale, and we started moving pieces. But for a lot of people, it just wasn't quick enough. And then actually what happened with Agnes and Dora was they had a whole bunch of people join. Like when I joined, oh my gosh, they went from like 700 reps to over 3,000. And they had all these reps, and they had to give us inventory. And I guess they weren't expecting that it would be so hard for us and that people would start dropping out. So they started buying for us at a level of like 3,000. And then all of a sudden, all these people dropped off, and they had all this inventory that they needed to get rid of, and it's not moving. So that's kind of what happened, the roller coaster with Agnes and Dora over the last year, with them trying to kind of stay alive and move their existing inventory so that they can open up this new model for us and give us a brand new opportunity. So I'm super excited that they did away with that model, because for most people it was expensive and very stressful to have an inventory. It took up space in your home. And personally, when I would walk into this extra bedroom of mine and I would see these 900 pieces of clothes, the stress was enormous. And you know, the pressure was, okay, well, I need to keep getting new customers so that I can get new eyes on these pieces and get them moving. But you know, I mean, the process of getting new customers it's work. And of course, I'm always working on getting new customers, but I wasn't getting new customers fast enough. And that's how most people felt about that model. So switching over to the brand stylist model was, I believe Agnes and Dora did this in July of 2019. And we were given the choice to hop over from the previous model, and I joined right away. There was definitely a couple of months there where we didn't really know what was going to happen or how we were going to sell. Honestly, I just had faith because I really liked the company, and I just realized and figured that we would all figure it out, and we would figure it out together. And I'm so glad that I waited, because in November and December I had the highest sales that I have ever had with Agnes and Dora. In fact, December was my biggest paycheck ever from Agnes and Dora. So I'm glad I hung in there. We basically have just figured out that to sell, we just need to get samples and model them, go live in our group, take pictures. But you know what? If you don't know how to do flat lays, the leaders, including myself, can take these pictures of the flat lays, and it's a wonderful community. We all share our pictures with each other. We all want everybody to be successful. So it is a fabulous opportunity. So hopefully after you just listen to me, you will understand it's not that Agnes and Dora was a bad company or that they did anything wrong. They really, really tried to make it work with the wholesale model, but it was too hard. It was too hard for most of us to maintain that kind of a business. So thankfully they moved to a different model, and I am thrilled and I'm doing great. So if you are interested in joining, I did post a video before this about the Agnes and Dora opportunity. You can email me for information at agnesanddorabyNancy@gmail.com, or you can go directly to my website at shopnancyspretties.com, and you will see at the right top of the first screen, you'll see in big letters, it'll say join. You just click on that and join, okay? So I hope that you will consider joining my team. I am a seasoned Agnes and Dora rep, and I am a seasoned business owner. I have been an entrepreneur since I was 20 years old. So, all right, ladies, thanks for listening. Bye.